Hello everybody. Today you talk to me again and I'm so proud to tell you about how happy that I decided to have this video and also the trip that I just got maybe 2 or 3 weeks earlier. I went to Cuba. Yes, it's really interesting. I got the idea of going to visit Cuba long time ago, since before I moved here, since I started to learn that Cuba is just so close, right? You could swim to Cuba. It's just under 100 miles away from Florida. Okay, topic today, since this is not the pre-video, this is the post-video. I record this after I came back from Cuba, so I knew exactly what happened over there and I knew exactly what I needed, and you guys should know and prepare about it. First of all, what you need for sure is your passport. And how you're gonna get the ticket from US to Cuba. First of all, before I forget about this, because it's just so many things, it might overwhelming. There's two international airports in Cuba. I mean in Havana. One is the nicer, bigger, easier to go to, lots of convenience. Well, I have to say convenience in Cuba way, which you know their country is not really developed so much from the what's the word, revolutions years ago, right? Okay, that airport, that luxury one, is not from Americans or whoever that travel from America to Cuba. That airport will be the one that most of people know about it. So when you landed, that's not the problem, because you're gonna be landed at the airport that's specifically exclusively for American. But when you are about to leave Cuba or leave Havana, you have to talk to your driver that you are going to Terminal 2. You must tell them that you are going back to USA, so it would not be any confusion that they're gonna drop you off at the nicer airport, that you're gonna look at it just like what I look at it. That doesn't look like the airport that I landed. Yes, after I spend, what is it, half an hour or so and try to figure out why it's so much different. I already be in the line waiting to change the money, which that's gonna be another topic in this video, currency. So I ended up to wanted to know for sure if this is the same airport. So I walked to the counter, those check-in counters, and asked them where I can check in for my airport. That's how I, no, not my, for my airlines. That's how I knew that there's two airports about it. So that's going to be another 5 CUC from that airport to another airport, that everybody who coming from USA, who live in Cuba to USA, have to use it. Okay, now I already told you that I am not holding an American passport. I still holding my Thai passport, but the process is not so much different. You just go to get your ticket, and my ticket is the direct flight from Southwest, which cost me, if I remember it right, let me see my note, I think is 200 something. Yes, it's the round trip, 200 something. That I means is already including tax and everything. Plus, if you read more, they're gonna say these also including health insurance, which will be expired within 30 days after you landed. So you got the ticket. What else you need from there? You also need visa. And the easiest way to get visa, as this is May 2018, you're gonna get a notification mail from the airport, which, as I said, I use Southwest. I'm not sponsored by anything from here, okay? This is just from my experience and my opinion that I really got it when I travel with Southwest or to Cuba this trip. You're gonna get a notification mail from your airlines, which gonna basically say you have this done, that done, this not done, which of course it's gonna be about visa, because everybody have to get a visa to Cuba, which what you have to say is, I already have this for you. Okay, you have to file a document to get the visa, which this one is the cubatravelservices.com. You will receive these from the check-in counter, which they also have a special counter for you to go to Havana. You're not gonna go to the luxury machine fancy thing. You're gonna go to this one, and you will go to see this guy that they would handed you this envelope, right? I would call this an envelope, and it's gonna be a an empty visa inside that you have to fill it yourself. Basically, this visa would show you who you are, your last name, your first name, the date of birth, the passport number, and the citizenship of yourself. There's two parts of it, and the most important thing is, most of the time when you travel, your visa or the immigration document that you have to fill before you land it and give it to the immigration, most of the time, from whatever that I have known traveling for at least 10 years to many countries, you're gonna have it stapled inside your passport. But Cuba is not the same way. That means keep these with you, okay? Now we finish with that, but because I was about to talk about the document that you have to fill to get the visa, there's a reasons to go to Cuba that you have to pick one of them to get the visa. I have the list. First, a family visit. Second, official government business. Third, journalistic. Fourth, professional research and professional meeting. Fifth, education, including people to people. Sixth, religious. Seventh, public performances, clinics, workshops, athletic, and the other competitions and exhibitions. Seventh, if I remember it right, support for the Cuban people. Eight, I can't read this. Humanitarian projects. 9, private foundations, research or educational institute. 10, right? If it's 10, information or information materials, which for me, I use the easiest one, and the one that I knew for sure that is my real reason is support for the Cuban people. So you're gonna fill out this form, and then what else you have to do is you also have to provide your resident address outside the Cuba, which basically means your home address, into that form. And it also about the where you make a reservation, and also the address that you're gonna stay there. Then when you're on the plane, you're gonna have 2 more forms that the flight attendant will distribute to you. One will be about the health condition, which gonna go to maybe health ministry, I guess. And then another one is about the immigration form, which basically would not ask you too difficult questions, such as you have to tell them about how many people in the trip that you're traveling with, how many things that you carry, and for the health condition, they basically would ask you about any infection that it might happen to you, such as if you have fever, if you have diarrhea, if you throw up, those kind of things. It's simple. You just fill it out. And this is a crazy thing. If you live from Florida, just like me, I left from Tampa International Airport, which basically is just about 1 hour or so from Florida to Cuba. Don't try to think about how many things you're gonna pack to be on the plane, what you're gonna do during the plane, because you don't have time. You're gonna have to think about the money that you have to change, the form that you have to fill and everything, and that already done with your 1 hour. You're gonna have to get up and ready and leave the airport. So what else we already talked? I already talked about the ticket. I already talked about the visa. So now we're gonna talk about money. Money, your US dollars in Cuba don't really mean a thing over there. Yes, possibly means something if you want to trade with the really terrible currency exchange rate. But to be sure, this is the way, the good way. You're gonna go to get your US dollar traded to be euro. In my case, I traded to be Canadian dollars after I talked to the company that changed the money. I asked them which is better. She suggested to have Canadian money instead. So this is another trick that I wanted to share, since I came from Thailand and I travel to many countries that they don't use my money, they don't use US dollars. You better trade your money to be the bigger bills, because bigger bills such as Thailand, my home country, they have the currency exchange specifically for each banknote. If you have 100, if you have 50, or if you have the single, the rate of your money will rely on the bigger of the money. Basically, let's say if today $1 equivalents to 30 baht in Thailand, you might get that 30 baht from $100 bill. You might not get that 30 baht from $50 bill, and of course you're not gonna get that from the single. So first of all, you change your money to be Canadian money, right? Carry this, and what she recommended me was also keep the receipt with me. And another very important thing, don't carry Cuban money back to USA, because you can't change it back to your US dollar to anything. It's illegal. Then when you landed, before you leave the airport, this is the very important step. First of all, in any videos, I am Thai, born and raised in Thailand. I just moved here 10 years ago. English is not my first language, so try your best, do your best to understand me. If this is the airport, okay, if this is the airport, this is so difficult to explain. If this is the airport, your American airport in Cuba, that's the front gate. You're gonna exit there. You turn to the right side and you go to another door that's gonna have an officer there. You tell them money, you show them money. They're gonna know right away that you wanted to exchange the money, which there is a company or maybe a government, I'm not sure about it, but there's a place inside that you can change your money from. Here, your Canadian money to be Cuban money, which there are also two types of Cuban money. What I am showing you right now, this is the CUC, which is the money that tourists use. And they also have Cuban money that Cuban use, which I put it together so you can see the difference. Tourist money, you will only have buildings and stuff. See, building. And if that is the money that Cuban use, you're gonna see those heroes, national heroes, on the banknote like this. I don't remember for sure exactly what happened, but I think you cannot really use or change your Cuban money to your Canadian dollars or US dollar easily. I think easily. I'm sure it's gonna be a way to change it. What you need when you need to change your money, it's just your passport, because they have to get your information, and then you are free to go. You can go back with your money, which I would recommend you to carry this. Ta-da! Anti-thief. This one is the anti-thief wallet that I have been using many times. This one, it can be by the front of your tummy, and the material already designed to not make you sweaty or super hot. I have been using in Thailand, I have been using in Cambodia, I have been using in Vietnam, I have been using in Cuba, so it's good. Get one. And next, currency already done. Now we're gonna talk about something that for sure everybody never imagined it. Internet. Do you think I really know the meaning when people say there's no Wi-Fi in Cuba? No, I thought if I don't have Wi-Fi means the phone in my hands just don't have the Wi-Fi because Wi-Fi is not in the sky. No, it's more than that. Whenever that you try to get the place to stay in Cuba and it said that's close to Wi-Fi spot, that means it's gonna be some place that you can go to get your Wi-Fi easily. In my case, that is the park. You can go to the big hotel and you can get the Wi-Fi too, but before that you have to get a Wi-Fi card. This one I got from Itexa, which this one basically is $1 for 1 hour. For 1 hour, it's not for how many data that you use, it's for the timing that you use. So I don't know exactly why, but that day they allowed me to buy only 3 of them, and because it was my short trip, I didn't care so much about when I would be able to buy it again. But if you're there and you can speak Spanish, you can talk to them about it and you will know. But this is a crazy thing. I never thought, after living in internet world for how many years, more than 10 years, 15 years, whatever, I only spent 2 hours something for my 4 days, 5 days, 4 nights in Cuba for internet. Okay, this is the detail of the card. On top of it, the top one is your username and the lower one is your password. When you want to use it, in my case, I would go to the park, and for sure you will know that spot is a Wi-Fi hotspot. That's the exact meaning of hotspot, because you're gonna see people look at their phone, look at their tablet or their computer. They're not gonna talk to each other because they are spending their happiness on the Wi-Fi. So you're gonna go there and you're gonna select your provider and you're gonna put your password in, and that would be 1 hour. So don't expect so much about the Wi-Fi there, because most of the time when I was there, sometime I was checking my mails, I was talking to my boyfriend. All of a sudden the wind blew, Wi-Fi gone. What I could do, walk back home. That would be it. And one more thing that I really want to talk about Wi-Fi for you is I don't think that I knew it, but because I had one card with me on the way back to the airport. So when I was at the airport, after all of the processes, that I get my ticket, that I check in my bag, and one more thing, don't forget to change your money before you leave the country. I have one Wi-Fi that I can spend for another hour in the airport. So another very important trick for you, keep 1 hour of your Wi-Fi card so you would not get bored if you travel alone, just like me when I went to Cuba. I think today I already pretty much covered what I wanted to say about this ticket, visa, currency, and also Wi-Fi. I hope it's useful for everybody. Bye!